great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.
Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. This is episode number 656 of the Immigration Answer Show. How's everybody doing? How was your weekend? Good to be with you all. I enjoyed our show on Saturday, and it's good to be back with all of you today. Let's see who's here. Tyrone is here. Christopher's here. Saring's here. Hello, Mary. Hello, Creaky Bones, all the way from Eugene, Oregon. JD in the house with a special notice for all the notarios. What are these notarios? Here's the special notice. Notarios are fake lawyers, people who say, we'll help you fill out your forms. JD explains. Yeah, some notario called and said to have Jim screen your case so that they can charge $100 to file their forms. All right, Jay Cruz is here. Syra's here. MDDS, Julian from London, Kofi in Atlanta. Orez is here. Maggie's watching from New Jersey. Rhodes says, Yardy up. Big ups to all the Yardies. Jennifer says hello. Vasu's here. Clayton is checking in from Baja, California, Mexico. Somebody's coming to say hello. Yes. I saw your text. Yes.
Okay,
right.
We'll talk about it later.
Mm-hmm.
But I made it for later this week.
Good.
Talk later.
All right, bye. Robert's talking about baseball. We got Maya here, Joanna, Oliinka, Willows, Owen Ching, Fatu, and Patrick from Las Vegas. How about that? Good to see everybody. I'll be here for the next hour trying to answer all of your immigration and law-related questions. I wanted to start off the show. I complain a lot about Joe Biden. I complain a lot about the Department of Homeland Security. I complain a lot about USCIS. But to their credit, today they're trying to do something. Today, the parole in place for the spouses of U.S. citizens goes into effect. So this is for people who entered without inspection, who've been in the United States for at least 10 years as of June 17th, 2024, and were married to a U.S. citizen. They can apply for parole in place, which would allow them to adjust their status here in the United States without having to file for a waiver and without having to travel overseas, which would make things a lot easier and a lot faster for people in that scenario. I have some notes that I've been sending to the attorneys in the office because I was just on a webinar about this. The regs will be posted tomorrow. These are some of the things that we're hearing. The filing fee is going to be $580. The form is called an I-131F. People who are in removal proceedings are eligible, and even people with a deportation order are eligible for the program, but they will be presumed ineligible. So sort of a higher burden if you've already been ordered deported. If you get parole, it'll be good for up to 3 years. And then, of course, you'll have to apply for adjustment of status as well. One thing that everyone was sort of emphasizing is if you are an enforcement priority, and that is people who've entered the United States and snuck in, who've committed a crime while in the United States, if you get your parole in place denied, they will send you to the deportation court. There's also a box, they said, with 750 characters where you're going to have to explain why you deserve a favorable exercise of discretion. So you can't just leave that blank. You're going to have to actually prove up why they should grant this to you. So I think people are going to either need to attach a statement or a cover letter explaining why this person is eligible for parole in place and why they should be given a chance to not have to leave the United States. So that's the latest. The regs are going to be published tomorrow. They just came out. Haven't even had a chance to look at them. But if you've been in the United States and you entered without inspection and you only entered one time, we think that's going to be one of the requirements, and you don't have any serious crimes and you're married to a U.S. citizen as of June 17th, 2024, then this program might be for you. All right, Rocio's in the house, and she's getting her classroom ready. I guess this is school week. I dropped off Nora today for the first day of her sophomore year. And two of the boys are going back to school for college, one this week and one next week. All right, let's get started. Let's say hi to Matthew. Hi, Matthew.
Hey, good to see you again, Jim.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Just a couple of questions. I won't take long. So the last time we talked, you mentioned that. So I'm in the Mexico, and my wife is Mexican. And you mentioned that I should come back to the U.S. just for a little bit to maintain my domicile or something like that.
Or to
I just wanted to
reestablish it.
but you said like it's not necessarily super important. I just want to double check, how essential is that? How important and helpful would that be?
I'm sure I didn't say it wasn't important.
Right, yeah.
What I
I
probably
mean,
said was at the I-130 filing stage, you don't need it. But at some point after the I-130 is approved, you're going to need to establish that you have a domicile in the United States, because otherwise, when she gets to the embassy, they say, hey, why are we going to give you a green card when your spouse doesn't even live there?
Gotcha. Okay, so just a couple clarifying questions about that then is, so if I come back and I just am in the US for like a week, would that count or would it have to be longer?
Yeah, as long as you have everything pointed to there as a right address, and yeah, I would say that's fine.
Okay, and so would it be beneficial if I came back longer than a week?
I would say so. I'd say 2 or 3 weeks would be ideal.
2 or 3
So it's
weeks.
just showing that you're getting ready to build a life here.
And would I just stay there, or would I have to like do something special while I'm in the US?
No, I mean, I would just like try to add her to some accounts. I would try to, show that you have a plan to live there, that you're, it's a trip. From your point of view, it's a trip, but from the government's point of view, it's you sort of reestablishing your connection to your hometown, right?
Right. Okay, that makes sense. And should I come back like once a year moving forward, or just one time come for a couple of weeks, establish domicile, and I'm good until the next phase? Or should I
Yeah,
come back?
I don't think, like I said, I'm not worried about it at all during the I-130 phase, because that's just trying to determine if it's a valid marriage. It's only
Right.
after that, and we would only need one.
Okay. And then just a couple questions about the evidence. So you mentioned that eventually it'll all become digital. So just to clarify, does that mean all the evidence that we're going to submit, they're going to print it out digitally or something, or?
You mean when you get to the National Visa Center?
Yeah, just
You'll upload it. You'll
eventually.
upload everything electronically. I don't think they print anything out. I don't know.
Okay. Right, because in my online USCIS case, there's a portion called like unsolicited evidence,
Mhm.
and it says I can just upload the unsolicited evidence there.
Yeah.
Should
Yeah,
I
but
just
once you
upload
get
all there just as soon as possible? I can just do that now. Go ahead and do it now.
once you get to the National Visa Center, you have to sort of prove the case all over again. You have to
Okay.
give them all the documents you want, and you would just be uploading it then.
Okay. But can I upload it now is what I'm asking, and that'll be okay.
No. It's two totally different agencies. The National Visa Center won't give any meaningful scrutiny to the stuff you gave to USCIS. Like I said, it's like starting over.
Okay. So just have it all ready to go for the next stage. Okay.
Well, but I mean, there's some stuff you won't even want to do. Like they're going to need a police certificate. You don't want a police certificate now because it'll be expired. So
Okay.
I wouldn't get too anxious. I would just do the next right thing.
Okay. So the next right thing, just go to the US, be there for a couple weeks.
Has your I-130 been approved?
Let me just pull up the case real quick. So it's just there's so many stages to this that like I get kind of lost about where exactly I'm at.
There's really just two stages, or three. One, USCIS, two, National Visa Center, and then documentally qualified, waiting for an embassy interview. Those are the three stages.
Right. Okay. So what it says here on my account is just 1 second. Okay. It says my case I-130 petition from alien relative was submitted on May 7th, 2024. It says estimated time until case decision is 14 months.
Yeah, and
I'm
I think
assuming-
that's exactly right. So you have nothing to do for 14 months or until next summer. Except
okay. So I don't have to go to the US right now.
you're all in stage. You're still in stage 1.
Okay. So for now, I just don't have to do anything until then.
All right, Matt. See you, buddy.
All right. Appreciate it.
Peace. Christopher's here. Hello, Christopher.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing well. Go Cards, by the way.
That's what I'm talking about. Although they stink.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't get to watch them very much anymore, but grew up in St. Louis. So
There you go.
yeah, man. Really, pretty much just one question, unless it turns into more.
Sure.
My wife and I currently live in the Cayman Islands. We were married in the Cayman Islands 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're both employed here on work permits. I am a U.S. citizen. She is a citizen of Honduras. She currently has her B1, B2. I think it's valid for the next 8 years. I think she's had it for about 2 years now. We are in the plans of moving to the United States, hopefully in about 1.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And my question for you is, does it make sense for us to start her green card process now here in Cayman, or wait till we move to the United States and start it there? One of the reasons we're not too hip on doing it here, sorry to interrupt you, is going back to Jamaica as the embassy to do all this stuff. Not the greatest place to visit if you don't have to.
Are you going to have a tight window to get, like, when you actually have to be here, or is it going to be a little bit more wide open?
It'll be fairly tight, a couple months, honestly. I've set my date with my current work to be January 1, 2026.
Right.
But I can, that could be a few months or about a month here or there, either end.
Did you say you've been married for 4 years?
Correct.
And during those 4 years, has she entered and exited on the B1, B2, no problem?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
about 4 or 5 times now, maybe. About 4 times.
So you can have all the intent in the world. We got to worry about her intent. So if she enters on a visit visa and then waits 2 months and then applies for a green card, that's okay. But if she had the intent of doing that before she came, then that could be problematic. Now,
Okay.
The fact that she's had, this visit visa for a while and has always come and gone on time, that goes in your favor, right? But I would say if you have 1.5 years, I mean, you're going to be at USCIS for 1 year. So at least that person right ahead of you said that they're telling him 14 months, which is what I've been telling people. That's just at USCIS. Then you're talking National Visa Center. And then you're talking, apparently, I guess we don't have a consulate in the Cayman Islands and you'd have to go to Jamaica.
Correct. Yeah.
So then you're waiting for all the other spouses of people in Jamaica. So I think that would be like 2 years.
Okay. So you think the best process for me would be to submit the 130 to get that process started, and then as we move in, we can work on the other parts? Or
well, so right now they're letting her in because right now she's just the spouse of a U.S. citizen. But if she's gone ahead and had her spouse file an I-130 for her, then she's demonstrated immigrant intent. Okay. And therefore, that means that she wants to come and live in the United States. That's inconsistent with the visit visa, which would keep them from probably renewing it and might lead to a CBP official canceling that visit visa because it's a non-immigrant visa. Do you understand?
Sure. Okay. So I'm guessing overall you're saying it's best to wait till we get to the United States then.
I can't tell you to do that, but if that was your intent, that's fine. But if that's her intent, she gets in trouble. So yes, generally everything's gonna be a whole lot smoother. Now if she comes to the United States and waits the 2 months and then applies, she's still gonna be without a work card for like 4 or 5 months. So that's 6 or 7 months where she's in the United States on the shelf.
Yeah. Okay. And which is okay. So and that, I guess, was my other question. The work card is something that you can get prior to the green card, right? So she would be about 6 months, with unable to work, but after that 6 months, she could have the possibility of working.
That's right.
Okay, which would be fine for us. Okay, great. don't want to take up too much more time, but the best way for me to maybe get a more in-depth consultation with you is just to call the office and set an appointment. Or
Yeah, this is what I tell everybody. The purpose of calling the office is to see about hiring us. If you're thinking about hiring us and are serious about that, we can do that. Otherwise, I just do this.
Yeah. Well, I'm tempted to kind of see what what I would get for how much it would cost, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Just have you called the office at all yet?
I've done one of your like book of calls kind of thing on the link that you have there, and one of your guys did call me back and kind of just gave me some general information that wasn't quite what I'm looking for. So
if you want to get going and talk to an attorney about hiring us, I mean, I can just tell you it's $5,000, and we're the attorney from the time you hire us until they're here with their green card.
Oh, okay, perfect. And you'll help us through the whole step of the way and just it's mostly a guidance portion, and then if any loophole,
we handle everything. We do all the paperwork. We help you gather everything. We put all the forms together. All that's whichever route she goes. There's a lot of nitpicky form stuff and document stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's very good to know. That's exactly what I needed to know. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. See you, buddy.
Cheers, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, Anwar's here. Hello, Anwar.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm Anwar, and I'm from Pakistan.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, okay. First of all, I would like to appreciate your work that I couldn't find such a show, and this show is helping common people before they make a big investment.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Okay, I have a couple of questions. My first question is a little bit long, as I have to explain the situation so that you can understand my case. I hope you would allow me. Okay, I got my B1, B2 visa in October 2018. And actually, I'm a Quranic recitation performer. And I've visited over 12 countries, more than 12 countries to make a Quranic recitation live performance. And I have visited USA and UK as well. I've still got a UK 2 years multiple visa. And actually, I've got my visa to US that was B1, B2 in 2018 October. And I made 4 visits. And on my 4th visit, that was the 1st of March 2020. And as soon as I visited until the UK, it was locked down after 2 days. And I was stuck there. Well, I was in one of the Islamic centers in San Antonio, and there I was there for the second time. And as soon as the lockdown started, they offered me to stay there with them for a couple of years so that I can teach Quran to their San Antonio Muslims children, right?
Yep.
So they have applied an R1 visa along with the change of status. But let me add a situation. In November 2019, my wife was having COVID, and she was having severe health conditions, and I was there in USA. That was my 3rd visit, and on my 4th visit, I left USA on the 11th of September, because I received a call from my children that my wife's health was again very, very severe condition, and I thought she may expire or she may pass away. So I rushed back to Pakistan. As soon as I reached Pakistan, I received an email from the American Embassy in Islamabad that my visa was revoked.
Yeah.
Right. So I was quite upset, and the Islamic Center in San Antonio, they were quite happy with me, and they wanted me to come back. So they
wait. Why were you upset that your visit visa got denied?
Actually, my visa was revoked.
Yeah. Why? I'm sorry, revoked. Why were you upset that your visa got revoked?
Well, actually, I wanted to go back. That was why I was upset. And the Islamic Center in San Antonio, they sent me an invitation once again to apply again the B1, B2 visa. And as soon as I appeared in the interview in American Embassy Islamabad, there were a panel of 4 people, and they were very, very professional people, and they asked me each and everything they could ask. I had a 1 hour 45 minutes interview,
Okay.
and from one particular question, I realized that that could be the reason of revocation. Actually, one of the interview officers asked me, "Have you ever sent money through Hawala?"
Yeah.
At that time, I didn't know what is Hawala, so I asked them, "Can you tell me what is Hawala?" I really didn't know. But later on, I made a little research on Hawala, and I came to know that Hawala means to send money through unfair means to another country.
Yeah.
So actually, then I realized that yes, I sent money in November 2019 back to my back to my home country, as
Okay.
my wife was having COVID, and her health was severe, and I was very worried about my children, as my children were separated from their mother. So that was my mistake. I admit my mistake that I sent money from a shop, and I didn't know that the guy on the shop will send money through Hawala.
Okay.
And I was desperate to send money back to Pakistan. So my question is that uh, I mean, I want to apply once again. How should I apply a B1 B2 visa or an E2 visa, so that I can explain my situation, and what documents should I add with the application?
Well, okay. So let me just be clear on a couple of things. Number one, did the did the did the mosque in San Antonio file for an R1 for you before you left to go take care of your wife when she was sick?
Yes, yes, that was right.
Okay. And so then after that got denied, you tried to file after it got revoked, you filed a new B1, B2. There were 4 people there interviewing you, and that one got denied.
Yes, refused.
Okay. So thank you. So, oh, these are the good ones. So anyway, now you want to. So
Actually,
how long ago did that second B1, B2 get denied?
it was February 2021, and I would like to add that the email said that you cannot visit on the same visa. If you wish to visit, you have to get another visa. That was
Right.
why I applied for the second visa in February 2021.
Have you applied since then?
No, no. Actually, one of my friends. Actually, I want to add one more thing. One of my friends in USA, he said that well, it's better not to apply for 5 years, as in USA it's common term that cases are normally reset after 5 years.
And
It's
so
better not to.
as far as that question about the halawa, was that did you remember the right answer after that interview or during that interview?
I'm sorry. Say again, please. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you said they asked you about the hawala while you were there, right?
While I was in Pakistan and appearing the interview in embassy.
Yeah. And during that interview, you said no. I've not sent money through a hawala, right?
Well, actually, when they said Hawala, I asked them what is Hawala, and I didn't know, and that was why I said no.
Right.
And later on,
Hold on.
I realized that
Hold on.
okay,
So did you clarify before you left that interview that you had sent money overseas one time?
no, no,
It was only later that you realized it.
that's right.
Okay. So here's the sad truth. Number one, you're not supposed to use a B1, B2 to enter the United States 4 times in 1 year. Number two, you told them that you wanted to stay in the United States by having the mosque in San Antonio file an R1 for you, which is inconsistent with your B1, B2. Third, you went to a B1, B2 interview, and in their mind, you lied to them about sending money overseas. So do I think you're going to get a B1, B2? Do I think you're going to get an E2? Do I think you're going to get an R1? I do not think you're going to get any of those. So you can apply all you want. You can wait 5 years, and that's probably the bare minimum you should do is wait 5 years. But as of right now, you lied to them. I don't think you lied to them. but from their point of view, you lied to them.
That's right. I can understand.
So you could spend all this money in the world on a B1, B2, on a R1, on an E2. I don't think they're going to let you come back to the United States. I mean, and I say this as your Muslim brother, you're a Muslim guy from Pakistan. You know, that's just a whole other level of discrimination. So you've given them all kinds of reasons for them to say no. And I don't think, I mean, I don't help with visit visas. Most visit visas are denied, but you have so many little cuts against you right now. I just think you should sort of put this out of your mind for a while.
So you mean it's better to wait for 5 years?
At the very least. And then when you do apply, it should be for one visit for a little bit, and you should make it darn clear that you made a mistake about the hawala. Like you got to explain that to them because they think you're a liar.
That's right. That's right. And I mean, what kind of documents? I mean, documents like a prescription from the doctor or hospital bills or something like that. Should I attach with that application?
You mean to explain why you left the United States?
To explain, actually, I didn't know that. I never knew that the guy in the shop whom I gave almost $1,300. I never know that he will send money through Hawala, and that's my mistake. I should have said, but actually, I was in a desperate situation.
So I don't know for sure, but I think the word hawala is a strictly African like setup, like for money exchanges through Africa. I don't think that the whole world knows that hawala is a money exchange kind of a thing. I don't know. I might be wrong. It's been a while, but I'll tell you what. I've had the FBI asking about hawalas here a lot, so that's high on their list. And so then it's not like you lied about whether your car was blue or green. You lied about something that they're really, really concerned with. I got to go, Anwar. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate your answers.
Assalamu alaikum. All right, that was Anwar. You know, I don't always give people the answers that they want, but I tell it how it is. I mean, I just think it's going to be really hard for him to get. Thank you, Julian. To get that'd be something interesting to investigate. I always got to tell people what I really think. Daphne's here. Hello. You're on mute.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. I have a pretty complicated case. So my mom is a U.S. citizen, and I have a sister that came in on a visiting visa when she was 15 years old and stayed. My mom is trying to figure out how she can file for her, but she lost her original visa that had the visiting visa that she came in on.
How old is your sister?
She's 52.
Wait. Wait, so she's been in the United States from the age of 15 to 52 without status?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Has she ever gotten married? Is she married now?
No, she has not gotten married, but she does have a son that is 15 years old.
So, as of right now, what you're saying is that your sister doesn't have any proof of a valid entry into the United States.
That is correct.
Does she know the circumstances of her entry?
I believe, yes, she came in on a visiting visa.
Right, but like on a plane?
A B1, a B2 visa
Where?
on a plane, through airlines.
Yeah, but what city? Sorry.
Texas.
He was inspected in Florida.
But I think my mom said that the inspection was in Florida.
Mm-hmm. So we don't have any proof of that trip, nothing like that.
No.
Well, okay, let's put that to the side for a minute. Let's say that instead of calling me to ask about that, you actually called me to ask me a different question. And
Okay.
that is, Jim, can my mom sponsor my sister? Your mom's still alive, I assume?
Yes.
Okay, so if your mom, let's say your mom applied today for your sister couldn't adjust status because she's been out of status for so long.
Okay.
So she's not eligible to get a green card through your mom as of this moment.
Okay.
What probably needs to happen, I hate to say it, is she needs to wait until her son turns 21
Okay.
and then try to spend the next 6 years trying to figure out how she entered. Like, I mean, does she know what airline she entered on?
Probably we can probably find out.
I know this sounds crazy. I would keep my head low, spend the next 6 years trying to find proof or figure out exactly how I entered. I don't know if she entered with other family members.
She did. She did.
Okay, so have any of those family members gone through the immigration process at all?
Yes, one has. Yes.
So I would check with that one and see if they have proof of their entry. If they were on the same flight, then maybe she could piggyback on that, or that might point her in the right direction to find.
Okay.
She's got to get some kind of proof of a valid entry. Otherwise, she won't be able to adjust even through the kid.
Okay. Okay. So she has to get proof that she had a valid entry before she can even start the paperwork, or she has to wait until her son turns 21 and then
Both.
adjust. Oh, both. Okay.
I mean, the son can't apply for her until he's 21.
Okay.
And if mom applies for her now, that's a 8 or 9 year wait. And mom's a citizen?
Yes.
That's an 8 or 9. That's an 8 or. Go ahead.
Oh, so yes, mom's a citizen. She's been a citizen for about 6 years now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I would, if I were you, I would do a Freedom of Information Act request on mom's file to USCIS. It's called a G639. And then whoever that family member is who went through the immigration process, do the G639 for them too, trying to get their entry into the United States, trying to prove that up.
Okay. Okay. And would it help if we know the date that she entered?
Any details that you have that show when she entered is going to be helpful because, as you can imagine, let's see, how old did you say she is?
52.
52. So that's 37 years ago. So 1987, something like that.
Yeah, in the 90s, 90.
So any way you can narrow that down, that's going to be better.
Okay. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.
You got it. Good luck.
You have a blessed day.
See ya. All right. That was Daphne calling about her sister who's been out of status for a really long time. Yeah, that's true. I should have mentioned, you always got to worry about false claims to citizenship. Whenever USCIS hears that someone's been here that long without status, they always revert to that. Pierce, hello.
Hi, Jim. Good day. How are you?
I'm great.
I'm good. I'm fine. And I have great news. So I became
Awesome.
a citizen in February, and I notified NVC. So about 2 days ago, I received an appointment letter for my wife. My wife's
Nice.
petition
What embassy?
to go to embassy. Ghana.
Ghana?
Accra.
Yeah.
Yes, Ghana.
Just
So
that's great
that's
news.
the great news that I want to share with you.
I'm glad. So how long ago did she get documentally qualified?
Since 2022, yes. About
Since
2 years
2020.
ago.
And then you notified him in
Yes.
February or March that you were a citizen?
Yeah, February. Yes.
And when's her interview?
October 7th.
So like a month and a half. That's great. Yes. I'm happy for you. That's great news.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Keep us
Wanted to
posted.
share this great news with the family.
For sure. Let us know in October how it
And
goes.
so I would like to ask, what do I need to? what do I need to do? Some of the things that I need to do.
Well, you're going to want to make sure she has a copy of everything. You're going to want to make sure she does her medical exam and all that stuff as early as possible. She's going to want to bring her identity documents with her. I might, if you're the only sponsor, I might just have her bring proof of your ongoing employment and your income. And other than that, it should be pretty straightforward.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Pierce. See you,
So
buddy.
I'll come back with great news. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. He's happy. I was thinking of all my friends from Ghana because yesterday in the New York Times crossword, Accra was one of the answers from Ghana. So that was exciting. The boys were excited about that. All right. Let's go to I-485. Hello.
Hello, Jim. Sir, I've just turned off the camera.
You are off the camera.
All right. Just have a questions. If that will affect me in my case for the I-45, if I change my address a couple of times in short period.
Well, of course, it's certainly your right to move around, and nobody really cares about that. The big question is, where are they going to mail your green card? Right? Did you use a lawyer or not a lawyer?
No. I did it myself.
Okay, so the big problem is that when you file your 45 with address number 1, and then you move to address number 2, and then you move to address number 3, and then you move to address number 4, I think there's a 25% chance that it goes to address number 1, a 25% chance it goes to address number 2, a 25, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I remember in that time when I filed my applications, I did the notifications form.
I assumed that.
Mm-hmm.
I assumed that. Like that, even with you filling out the AR-11 to properly notify them, the problem with moving too much during your green card case is that they send your green card to the wrong address. What I would do is, you're signed up, I assume, for the electronic portal and all that stuff.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So, and when you say you moved, like, are you saying like in the same city?
Yeah, in the same city, just only a couple of different blocks, and even the same zip code.
Yeah. So here's what I would do. Once you get the alert that your green card case has been approved and your green card's been sent in the mail, that same day I would call USCIS and say, hey, I need to know which address you sent it to. Right? Or even like I would do it like this. Like if they approve it on one day, then I'd call them as fast as I can to tell them the right address to send it to. Write down who you talked to. You got to document all your efforts to get them to send it to the right address. Then whichever address they send it to, I would go to the post office that handles the mail for that address and try to get to know the mail person and tell them what's going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. One thing I would like to share with you. I actually just called them yesterday, and Friday, and I was just telling them what is the update in my application's status, and they told me my case has been get a waiver from the interview.
Good.
And now it's in the lockbox facility, and they're gonna move it to the
field office.
The field office, either in San Luis or the Kansas City. Still, so I think that means I'm almost there. Or
now everyone in the comments is asking me. They think I missed something. Were you worried about the fact that you move? Like they view your marriage as shakier because you move, or you're just wondering about the case itself? Were you worried about the marriage or no?
No, just about the case.
Everything with the marriage is okay?
Yeah, everything is good, yeah.
And your spouse has moved with you to each address?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, well, keep us posted. Let us know.
All right, thank you so much.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
All right. Sounds like he's pretty close to winding up. Let's go to Kwat. Hello, Kwat.
Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm the first time here, so I'm not very sure, but yeah. So my question is like, I applied to EB-based self-petition, like EB1 and EB2, and both of them got approved. So recently I got my interview, and I got my visa in the passport. So me and my family, we're planning to travel within 6 months. And I was wondering if we can travel to US, get our stamps, and then my family can leave. And while I will wait for the green cards to be printed and delivered, is it possible? Or like, I mean,
Why?
because we have to finish some stuff here in my home country. So we still have to return within the year, going back and forth. So we're not going stay here longer than 6 months. I mean, we're going to travel probably every 6 months to have the continuity residency. But I was wondering if they can leave for now because we have a school and other stuff. So we don't want to interrupt, kids in the middle of the.
So what's the long-term plan?
The long-term plan, probably within a year, next summer, we're going to move like fully to the US. But now we want to get the green card, set things down. Like I will get the rent apartment, the house, everything, get ready for the family to come in.
Right. So here's what I would say. A couple of things. Number one, I prefer it if everybody sat here and waited till they actually got the green card. But if you're staying, I think that might be okay. All right. I mean, I'd rather, from an immigration standpoint, the best thing would be for everybody to wait until they get their green card. That's number one. Okay.
Right.
Number two, as long as you're okay with it, the big thing is this is gonna slow down either their ability or all of your ability to apply for citizenship. So sometimes when people do what you say, where they come get their green cards and they go right back and they don't really come for 9 months or 6 months, then the government takes the position that you didn't really start residing there until you actually started residing there. So like I would say, don't count that time when you're back in your home country as towards your 5 years towards citizenship. You need 5 years of having your green card and 5 years of living in the United States.
Got it. Got you. And even though like I travel to US every 5 months, it still could be the case.
Well, so that'll keep your green card intact. But what I'm telling you is, if you tell me, let's say that you came to me, let's say that you got your green card, you and your family got your green cards
Right.
on January 1st, 2025. Okay.
Yes.
And then you came to me 5 years later. So 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So in 2030, you come to me and say, Jim, we've had our green cards for 5 years and we're ready to apply for citizenship. And I say, Quat, how much time that first year, tell me how much time you spent in the United States. Well, that first year we were still finishing up things back in our home country. The kids had school. We didn't want to disrupt everything. So what we did is they came and they got their green cards. Then they were gone for 5 months. Then they came back for 2 weeks. Then they were gone for 5 months. And then they came back for 2 weeks. Then they were gone for 3 months. And then they really started living here in February of 2026. Then I would tell you to start that clock February 2026. Don't try to use that. I mean, you could apply, but I think I've seen denials where they say, well, you weren't really, even though you had a green card, you weren't really residing here. You didn't put your green card at risk by being gone for 6 months, but also you didn't really reside here. So you need to have 5 years of a green card with residence. And so I think you could take a chance and see what happens, but you might lose your filing fees is all I'm saying.
Get you. Yeah, get you. Thank you. So you're saying it's better to wait with all the family to get the green cards first?
I think whenever anybody's been approved for lawful permanent resident status, that it's such a big deal that I'd be very worried about somebody leaving the United States until they have the green card in hand. You being one to stay here and bring them to everybody else, that's something that someone hasn't said to me before. I think that's better than everybody just coming, getting a stamp and going. But I'd rather, if I get to pick, everybody stays till they get their green card.
Okay, gotcha. I heard you. Yeah, thanks for that.
Congrats. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're ready.
Yep. All right, Vanessa's here. Hello, Vanessa.
Yeah, hi. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I have a question about green card renewals. So I have been here as a lawful permanent resident for almost 20 years. In 2019, I started getting into some legal trouble, and I was picked up by ICE, and I got a cancellation of removal. Now my green card is about to expire, so I'm just wondering, how does my green card renewal look after cancellation of removal.
You're talking about your old school green card renewal?
Yeah, like the every 10 years or whatever.
Yeah, they didn't give you a new green card when they canceled your removal.
No, they did not. It was still good for another 5 years at the time, so they just left it how it was.
So, I mean, first of all, I've got to say that when did your legal troubles start?
2019, so about 15 years after we moved here.
So you could have been a citizen for 10 years by the time that stuff happened, right?
Yes, you're absolutely correct. Yeah.
Okay. And so when did you get cancellation?
2020.
And when did you finish everything related to your criminal troubles?
January of this year, I finished my probation.
Okay. So, I mean, it's hard for me to say about whether or not they'll renew your green card. I'm always amazed at how people can get their green cards renewed with crimes, but if you've gotten cancellation, then they've sort of worked through all that. You're not leaving the United States anytime soon, right?
No, I plan to stay here. I have 2 American citizen children, so I plan to stay here.
Okay, so the plan is apply for your renewal. I think it'll go through okay. Don't leave the United States because that could really trigger some problems for you. So don't leave the United States. Are you still there?
Now, does that include like maybe 3 weeks of vacation? Because I have not been home in 10 years. You know what I mean? Back to my home country. I was planning on maybe going on a vacation next summer.
You can go on vacation wherever you want in the 48 states. I don't. Here's
okay. I understand.
If I'm in charge, you stay in the United States. You don't travel. You don't get in any more criminal trouble. You renew your green card now, and then 5 years after your probation's over, you apply for citizenship.
Okay.
All right.
Do I need an attorney to do the renewal, or should I be able to do that on my own?
I would use an attorney just because I would want everybody to be. I mean, you don't have to say what you pleaded guilty to here on the show, but I would say that before someone tells you it's good and safe and everything to renew your green card, I think you want to have a lawyer look everything over.
Okay. All right. Are you guys located in Missouri? Because I thought I recognized the phone number.
Yeah, we're in St. Louis, but we handle stuff in all 50 states.
Okay. Well, I'm real close by, so I'll be reaching out to your office. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Oh man, that always kills me when people have the chance for citizenship and they're like, "Oh, I'll get around to it one day," and then they get in criminal trouble. That's the worst. Oh. CD, hello. CD, you're on mute. You are off camera.
Kim, happy Monday.
Same to you.
So I called about a week ago about my VAWA case.
Okay.
And, I was telling you that I'm a bit concerned because from I get the approval of the I-765 in August of 2022, I haven't get any update.
Okay.
But on Friday, I saw we ordered you a new card, which is the I-360. And on Saturday, I got the message case was approved.
Nice. Great.
Yes. So I got over one hurdle.
That's great.
So I'm happy. I just called to share the good news with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because I know when I asked you, you said 90 days.
Yeah, I thought you were
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, that's great. Keep us posted, CD. Happy to hear from you.
Thank you. No problem. Have a good day.
Bye. Oh, we always like good news on here. Can't just have a bunch of bitching and moaning. We got to talk about the good things too. Glad CD called. Valeria is here. Hello.
Oh, hello.
How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I'm so happy to be here and finally speak to you. I'm really happy about that.
Great. I'm happy too. What's up?
Okay, I just want to give you a bit of a background information just so you know my case a little better. So basically, I'm from Costa Rica. I was born and raised here till 12 turning 13 years old, and then my family decided to move to the United States for a better life, and we did that on a tourist visa. I was a minor. I really didn't know much of what was happening.
Sure.
And then we stayed there for 7 years, and then I traveled back to Costa Rica without knowing anything regarding bans or regarding like my visa, because it's still like it expires in 2026. So I thought I was good. I came here to study actually, and would like to know if I'm banned or anything like that, because my fiance, who is a U.S. citizen, he's there. We're doing long distance right now. He came like a week ago to visit, and we would like to know if there's anything that would ban me or anything like that. We would like to get married, and we would like to know if we're able to like just keep on with the procedures, or if there's anything like a pardon or a waiver that we need to um like
So when did you leave the United States?
when I was 20, like this year actually.
Oh geez, really? Just this year?
Yeah.
Okay, so no unlawful presence until you turn 18, but then the clock starts when you're 18. So most likely you overstayed by more than a year, which means you probably have a 10-year bar.
Okay, so what can I do regarding that?
So your spouse, your fiance or spouse, I would do a spouse case. I wouldn't do a fiance case. And
Okay.
your spouse can file an I-130 petition for you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know this person when you still lived in the United States?
Yes, we've been together for like 2 years now. We've been knowing each other for the 7 years that I've been here, but it got serious till like 2 years ago.
And you didn't talk to a lawyer before you left the United States?
No.
Okay, so what would happen is your spouse would file an I-130 petition that would get approved. Then you go to the National Visa Center, and then you process there, wait for things to get approved at the National Visa Center. Then it would get sent to the embassy in Costa Rica for you to have a visa interview. Then your visa would be denied because you have the 10-year bar.
Okay.
And then at that point, your spouse could file a waiver application. They would have to show, like, the government understands that if you're forced to stay in Costa Rica for 10 years and your spouse is not able to have you live with them in the United States, then in that case, that would be a hardship. They understand that's true for everybody. So you have to show extra hardship. So does your spouse have any kind of health issues or mental health issues, or like, do they speak Spanish? Have they ever lived in Costa Rica? All that. Could they live in Costa Rica?
They have lived in Peru. They were like they're now they have like the green card, but they lived in Peru before. He hasn't lived in Costa Rica. He just comes to visit.
So he's not a citizen.
He is a citizen.
Okay.
He is a U.S. citizen. Yeah.
You said green card. Okay. All right. So
Sorry
what about? That's okay. Any health issues, mental health issues, anything?
No, not really.
Well, if you can't show some kind of hardship, then you can't come for 10 years.
Okay. So regarding that, there's no waivers or anything that I can apply on my own?
No, that's the waiver that I mentioned. That's the only waiver.
Oh, okay. So the hardship one.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Valeria.
All right. Thank you.
See ya. All right. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Kia's here. Hi, Kia.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I contacted you before I applied for my brother and his family in 2007. He got divorced during past 2 years and remarried, and then in April he received the interview invite and attended the interview with his son. And although I have put the information for the new wife and the divorce decree, everything on the system, they are not checked. The consular, the interviewer officer knew about these updates, but on the CIS website, I'm not allowed to file a new 260 DS-260 and remove the previous wife. What are our options right now? It's about 40 days past his interview now, and he's still waiting.
Well, what happened at the interview?
The officer was satisfied and asked question, and he knew that he has got married again and divorced, but he said, we will let you know in a few months. But whatever I have uploaded online, they are not on the CIS, they are not checked. There is no check mark.
So did your brother bring evidence of the new marriage when he went?
Correct, yes.
Did they take it?
Yes.
Okay, so I think you just have to, I mean, the DS-260 I'm sure is still locked, and so I'm not surprised that you're not able to address that stuff. I think you just got to let the embassy sort of work itself out, and I would send the embassy a formal request that you swap them out. Like I would, if you had asked me beforehand, I would have had a whole letter to the embassy for him to hand with all the documentation. Say, I am not married to person A anymore. I am married to person B. I need you to help me substitute this out. If that means I have to go back in the SEAC to update with the new spouse, so be it. Now you're just sort of hoping that they let him do it. But I think you just have to wait for the embassy to work it out.
Does your office can help us, because my brother wants at least his son to get the green card earlier rather than later. So
yeah, we could try. I wish you would have called me beforehand, but yeah, we can try to help. Yeah, sure.
okay, I will contact your office then. Thank you.
Okay, bye, Kia.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You got it. All right. Probably got time for one more, and that's going to be Christian. Hi, Christian.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Hello. Oh, I'm fine. It looks like there is like a certain time that we cannot hear each other. But let me just can you hear me now? Is it okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, and I think there is a delay, so I'll just be quiet while you talk.
Okay. Yes, I'm far away. Actually, I'm in Central Africa. I'm from Congo.
Oh, I don't know what happened to old Christian. He seemed like, I think he said he's from Central. Yeah, Valeria, send me an email. Robert raised a good point. Valeria, if you can, send me an email, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Maybe we can try to figure something out for you and your fiance or boyfriend. Yemima, hello. Hello, you're on mute, Yemima.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm at work, I'm on break, but I can go quick. So my case is new. I'm new, it's my first time here. I have my sister and we want her to stay for school. She's on vacation and we're trying to change the status of her visa from like a B2 to an F1. And I don't know, I saw a form that I can fill. It takes a while and I can have a lawyer, I guess. So I don't know which route. I need information about the process.
Sure. So, what country is your sister from?
Ivory Coast.
And she's in the United States right now?
Yeah, she's on vacation.
And when did she enter?
Last month.
And she has a 6-month entry?
Yeah.
Has she been here before?
Yeah.
Does the rest of her whole family live in the United States or no?
No, it's just me.
Just you. Okay. And are you in valid immigration status?
So I was an F1 student as well. Right now I'm on OPT. I'm working.
Okay. But you came to the United States on an F1.
Yeah.
Okay. So generally, I'm not a big fan of trying to change status from a B1, B2 to an F1 while in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is USCIS puts these at the bottom of the pile. They take forever, and she might not find out for 7, 8, 9, 10 months whether they're allowing her to change schools. Now, people call here on the show and tell me all the time, Jim, you're so dumb. I did that. It worked out fine, right? So it all depends on her tolerance for discomfort, if you know what I mean. Like, if she wants to give it a shot and if she thinks I'm going to have a much better shot with USCIS trying to change to a school here in the United States from a B1 to an F1, then she thinks, like, if she thinks the embassy in Ivory Coast is never going to give her a student visa, then maybe, and if she has a place to stay with you, maybe that's okay. But the one thing we all have to understand is if they deny that, that's going to hurt her ability to come back or get visit visas anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, it's sort of risky.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Because we were told she would have to go back home and get a F1 visa and come back.
That's generally what I tell people to do. But I mean, if she thinks there's no way that Ivory Coast is going to give her a student visa, she might take her shot. But like I said, if she has a single entry visa, does she have a multiple entry visit visa or a single entry visit visa?
I'm not sure. She been here before. This one, she was supposed to go back in September, but she still has 6 months. Like, that's just the date of her flight back.
Yeah, that's not a big deal. So has she talked to any schools? Is there a school nearby that wants to give her an I-20?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could help her with it if you want, but we got to make sure she understands that she's putting she's taking, either way has risks. If she goes back to Ivory Coast, they could say, we're not going to give you the student visa. And by the way, we're going to revoke your visit visa. They could do that. So everything has risk.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. I just wanted to confirm, because I was told, I had a friend that changed his status before while he was going to school, but that was university and all.
Yeah.
And it's different. So we were told she would have to go back home, but even that has a risk. So
thanks, Jemima.
yeah, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, noon Central. Noon Central tomorrow. We'll be back, 12 p.m. Central. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being such a great community and for welcoming people like Vale who have, immigration issues. Everybody has some issues. Nobody has as many issues as stupid Donald Trump, though. Don't forget that. Have a great night, everybody. Hopefully things will cool off for all the yardies down in Jamaica. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at noon. Thanks.
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.
Right now,